Jacki Deason hosts the Jacki Daily Show, a weekly show and podcast airing on Blaze Media, on the Dial in Texas, and podcasts everywhere. Previously, Jacki worked for an engineering firm specializing in energy production, national security, and environmental cleanup. She then served as legal counsel on Capitol Hill for a great congressional leader. And working in Congress, she advised on the oversight of federal agencies. That's where I first met her more than a decade ago. She was one of our first guests in the Economic War Room, show 3, in fact. She's also a senior fellow for Life Powered at the Texas Public Policy Foundation. She's a dear friend and a go-to expert on energy and politics. Welcome, Jacki.
Thank you, Kevin. Really good to be back with you.
It's been a while, but we're glad to have you back in the Economic War Room.
Thank you.
I think you are our third guest, and we just released our 300th episode. So that gives you an idea.
Yeah.
You came after Alan West and Luke Rosiak, and just before Frank Gaffney. So.
Okay. Well, I can't believe I got in front of Frank.
Yep, you did. And Trump was in office when you were here last.
Yes.
And you brought us great news on the American energy independence. And that was 6 years ago. Sadly, a lot of things have changed since you were last here.
Right. Well, strangely, and this comes as a shock to Democrats, but actually the country has continued to produce more and more oil despite the efforts and the promises of their leader, their chosen candidate who won, Mr. Biden. And so at every turn he has tried to scale back American energy production. I lost count of how many hostile regulations and suits have been brought by his administration. I don't know what else they can do to try to bring down U.S. oil and gas production more at every turn, but they have not succeeded yet because so much of it is on state lands and private lands, not federal lands. So they really haven't been able to stop it yet.
That reminds me, I think it was an Australian racehorse, maybe it was Farlap. It was one of those racehorse movies where they just kept putting burden after burden after burden on the horse, but it kept winning. And that's the American energy industry.
It is, and it's because we're the only country where the individual owns the oil and gas beneath their feet on their land. Anywhere else it would belong to the king. It would belong to the state. Here it belongs to the people. And then our founders had this amazing foresight that I still marvel at every day. Every day when I watch the news, we have federalism, which means the king doesn't just have, omnipotence to control everything. The states are their very own sovereign, and they can put a stop to and stand in the gap between the individual and the feds. And it's amazing. Here we are 247 years later, almost 248, and it's still working.
I don't know which is cause and which is effect, but fortunately, the oil and energy-rich states tend to be freedom-loving states. And maybe because they're energy-rich, or maybe, it's just happenstance and good luck, fortune for us. But the states like Texas, Oklahoma, Alaska tend to be Louisiana, freedom-loving states.
Even zero-tax states in some instances. But, I wonder about this all the time, providentially. Was it that the best states and the best people settled upon the best land in the United States? But look in the Middle East, the people who happen to settle upon the oil-rich lands are a completely different kind of people. And it's power. It's raw power and money. And it's strange the hands that it's in right now, and I wonder all the time, is there a plan? Like, is there any madness or method to the madness, or is there something to solve there or to see there that's providential? I don't know.
Well, we can't discern God's plans. The word says, many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it's the will of the Lord which shall be established. But I do know the current president, the sitting president, Joseph R. Biden, he has a plan. He has an energy plan. Can you describe how that works?
So the plan is to scale back U.S. oil and gas production at every turn. I mean, just every way imaginable. As I said, I lost count